What up? What it do? It's your boy JDQ, and it is exactly 5:33 p.m. on the eastern side of the states, down here in sunshine, sunny side, Florida. All right, and this stream was not scheduled per se. Like it wasn't like officially scheduled. I didn't really give any heads up for the stream. But I do hope that eventually, if you are already subscribed or have the notifications turned on from this channel, I do hope that eventually, whether it be later on today, tomorrow, the following day, sometime this coming week or this week, you take the time to just check it out. I will highly, highly appreciate it. All right. I do. I'm grateful and thankful for those of you who have already crossed over to the channel. Those of you who have not yet crossed over from my main channel, right, your boy JDQ Poach Center here on YouTube, and you want to kind of like listen to different topics that that I will be pretty much like touching up on this channel, I highly recommend you do so because yes, of course, on Poach Center, I do talk about specifically, the predator catching channels, and we go in depth and share content that pertains to that specific topic. On this channel, it's something completely different altogether, and it is a Christ Center channel, but we do pretty much touch up on general everyday topics, everyday life topics. So you might want to check it out if you haven't already. That being said, yesterday, if you guys remember very well, was a pre-official stream on this channel, kind of like explaining what the channel is going to be about mostly. All right. And, I did mention how I was going to eventually pretty much bring you guys along for a ride of like a trajectory of, my beginnings, quote unquote, with like music, and what music I grew up on, and then essentially what music I ended up like following through with, and like pretty much in my personal opinion, music that not only edifies you, in the spirit, but also in the mind and heart as well. And so today, being the first official stream of the channel, I want to talk about early beginnings in my life of what we used to listen to, when I was like really, really young. We're talking about 4 years old, 5 year old, 6 year old me, in a Christian household, what type of music I would listen to, or what music my parents would like play for my siblings and I. And, pretty much like the foundation of what music we used to listen to. And, yeah, I'm going to take you guys on that journey. But before I do that, all right, I do want to kind of like start this stream off with a verse that I hold very near and dear to me. All right. And I know some of you, already know it and already keep it near and dear to yourself as well. I'm going to try to share the screen, but if I can't do that, then I will definitely just kind of like speak it out or whatever. And also, I forgot to share this other screen, which actually, you know what? We're going to share the whole entire window. Well, not the whole window. Let's do this one. And that's, that's one of my old songs that I had recorded a few years ago. So I'm going to try to share that. And I wonder if I can share. No, I can't share multiple screens, so I'll just do one, I guess, and then I'll do the other one. So just bear with me. But as I look for the tab where the verse that I'm going to read out is on, I want to encourage you guys to expand and read a bit further, the whole context, of where this verse comes from and what it truly means. But so if we look here, I pulled up Bible Gateway, one of my favorite Bible resource websites. All right, it has every single different translation you can think of. Right, and this is one of my favorites, the Amplified version. All right, so we're gonna read John 18:36. It says, Jesus replied, "My kingdom is not of this world, nor does it have its origin in this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would be fighting hard to keep me from being handed over to the Jews. But as it is, my kingdom is not of this world." All right. Now I could expand on that, but the thing I'm trying to bring here, all right, is that you and I, all right, essentially we don't really belong to this world. Like we were created, we were placed on earth, but essentially we were meant for greater things, and we were meant for bigger things within the Lord. And so those of us who have chosen to follow God and follow Christ, and pretty much try to find that purpose that He has for us, we recognize that we are not of this world. And along with that, I want to say, because we are not of this world, right? The things that we should be sharing with others, right, whether it be believers or not, should be things that pretty much give all glory and praise and worship to the Lord, right? So that meaning, okay, so if I'm placed on this world, on this earth, and I was given an ability, a talent, a gift, whatever you want to call it, right? Then of course I'm going to use that gift, that talent, that ability to the Lord, so that He may be, what I'm saying, praise and worship through it, and blessed through it, and that He may use me through it, right? That being said, I did also mention yesterday how a lot of artists within the secular music industry community have been pretty much using their talent for their own gain, right? For their own selfish means, right? And so what I intend to do through many of these streams that we're gonna, well, not we, but I mean, I do have a co-host that will be with me on here, but for now it's just going to be me. So I guess what I'm going to try to accomplish for now on my own is kind of like let you guys know, right, that if you are in the Lord, you have nothing to envy. You have nothing to be jealous about from the world. You have nothing to be envious of the secular music world, because honestly, being someone who grew up in areas where secular music was played around the area of the neighborhood, and it was hip hop and rap blasting the 90s. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So being someone that grew up in that type of environment, right, that I was able to hear and listen to that type of side of like that genre, and compare it to the same genre, but within the means of how God intended it to be used, I can honestly tell you 110% that you have nothing to envy the world. You have nothing to be jealous about. We have tons of talent, tons of great, I'm talking about great talent on our side. And when I say our side, I'm talking about Christian, urban, rap, hip hop music, and everything else that comes along with it, right? And I'm going to take you guys along and explain why that's my personal opinion, right? As I said yesterday, anybody could bring their own personal opinion, but at the end of the day, right, music was intended to motivate and inspire and kind of like mold us as people, right, to act and pretty much like, I guess you could just call it act a certain way, or pretty much like take action towards certain things, right? So what do I mean by that? Like, JDQ, what are you talking about? All right. So what I mean with that is certain genres of music provoke certain emotions that therefore provoke certain actions from us, right? You've got different genres like rock and roll, hip hop, rap, R&B, soul, gospel. These are all different genres that once again provoke different emotions that kind of like steer us to do or want to do certain things, right? And in the secular music world, these different genres, you know, and depending on how you utilize them, or you allow them to utilize you, you'll be geared to, do certain things, or geared towards trying certain things, correct? And I could go on and on about that every single day, but we're just going to focus on pretty much talking about, okay, so when I was growing up, right? And I'm going to share kind of like the music I was talking about earlier. But before I get to that, I guess let me just say this. This is something that most of you that listen to the secular music, right, industry, can know to be true, and have to admit that it is true, right? There was different eras within the urban music community, right? Hip hop, rap, and all that, where there was, and there still is nowadays, but there was within the 90s, I want to say late 80s, and throughout the whole 90s and early 2000s, there was this era where gangster rap music was heavily promoted, right? Which then created a wave of people or generation that, because of that influence, you know, they got steered towards that type of lifestyle, right? And that's what I was trying to say earlier. Is like certain genres of music, depending on how you allow them to influence you, right, can steer you towards doing certain things. So the gangster rap genre, created a wave of generation that was steered towards trying to be a gangster, trying to be, hoodlums, trying to be just malicious type of personas, right? And so if you go on the other side of the coin, right, Christian rap, and we're going to get to that sooner than later, hopefully today on this stream. If not, we'll leave it for another stream. But on the different side of the coin, Christian rap produced a wave of a new generation of youth within the Christian community with attitude, right? With attitude towards the right things, like towards wanting to go out there and like spread the gospel and evangelize and reach out to the other community, right? That they grew up around with, right? Kind of like, I'll give you an example. Me, I grew up in neighborhoods. Some were okay, some were decent, and others were like not the best, not the greatest. And I grew up around certain types of people that if I would have allowed them to influence me, I would not be here today, probably, right? But because of the positive influence of Christian rap, right? I was the one who was actually out there influencing them, if that makes any sense, right? So I'm gonna try to pull up before we get to any of that. I just kind of want to like go way, 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 way back in time and share with you guys some of the music that I grew up on, so that you can get like an idea of the foundation of like the household that I grew up in. And you have to bear with me because it is Spanish. Some of it is in Spanish, some of it is in English. So just bear with me, all right? And as I go searching for those songs of yesterday, you can go ahead and, afterwards you can look it up yourself and all that good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna hold on. See. Okay. I'm gonna put this song, and then we're gonna have a good time looking at other music that your boys listen to as a kid. So make sure there's no commercials, nothing like that. All right, let's share the screen. I really hate how Chrome has this laid out, but anyways. There we go. All right, so this was like big, big in the household, right? In the Quinones household. This is old school worship and praise music, right? Mighty Sweet. This whole album is great. It's like I find it really hard to skip any songs within this album. So after this one, I'm gonna share another album, but in English that we used to like listen to a lot. But we're gonna start off with this one, and so you can get like an idea. I'm gonna raise up the volume a little bit. This is like essential worship and praise music from like way back in the day. I could listen to this throughout the whole day, every day. It's just like good, wholesome, old school worship and praise music, man. And it was, I mean, for its time, it was pretty like like moved. It was, if you can notice, it's not like slow. It's like, you can like do a two-step with it basically if you really wanted to. It's funny, like I honestly like. It's one of those songs that at least me personally, it really does like pump me up like before going to church. Kind of like gets me motivated. Kind of like helps inspire like a good spirit of like worship and praise. Like it's kind of like a warm up, I guess, for me. Like if I'm driving to church, and I put this on, I'm like getting pumped. I'm like, oh, like that's what I'm talking about. It's nice. They go that drum change right there, that rhythm change, so a little faster. Those of you who are Hispanic and have been in church for like the longest time, there's no way you won't remember this song or this album. This was just all over the place when it came out. And this album, if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken, but if I'm not mistaken, I used to heavily listen to it when I was back in West Palm Beach, Orlando, West Palm Beach, Florida area. So that I think that's one of the reasons why I hold it near and dear to me. I'm gonna show y'all another one that I used to listen to around the same time. Man. It's hard to remember the name of the song. Hold on. Bear with me. Oh my goodness. The name of that song. Oh, okay, shout to the Lord. Sometimes I have to sing the song in my head to like really remember the actual title. All right, just bear with me. And I promise you, that all this that I'm doing is for a reason. I'm gonna kind of like take you guys by the hand here, of like I'm giving you like an insight, all right, a foundation insight of like what I grew up on and how things like transitioned gradually, right? And there's a purpose behind it. I'm gonna show, yeah, let's show that old school concert vibe. Darlene. Darlene used to be my girlfriend. She just never knew it, you know. Let's do that. All right. I mean, look at this, yo. Like over 14 million views. There's a reason why this song has so many views and stuff, man. And obviously the live version. Come on now.
My Jesus, my Savior, Lord, there is none like you. All of my days, I want to praise the wonders of your mind.
I'm gonna try to like cut this song a little short, just so I can kind of like for time's sake, you know, just kind of like get to the point, I guess. But pretty much you can like, you know, get an idea and get a feel of like what type of household like I grew up in as far as like music goes, you know, what we used to listen to, things that inspired us. She got that beautiful voice, man. Look at that. Look at that church just packed. There's that old school like worship and praise, like slow and, you know, really like just to the nitty gritty, you know, just old school worship and praise. You could like look at the different singers within that worship team, and you could like honestly, you'd be like, yo, they're like genuinely like enjoying the worship, and they're like genuinely passionate about like worshiping and praising God, and it was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like these were the days where it's like, I mean, even nowadays, I'm still proud to be a Christian, Christ follower, but like back then, like you would see this and hey, this is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like just seeing a bunch of people gather around is like worshiping and praising God, and just like focus on the worship and praise is such a delightful like sight. It's crazy. I mean, look at her smile. She's like really like enjoying just like worshiping God. It's beautiful to like remember these old school like songs, bro. When it gets to like the 3-minute and 30-second mark, I'm gonna just kind of like pause it, and we'll go to the. I'm gonna take you guys through. Like I said earlier, just bear with me. I'm showing you all this for a reason. There's a purpose behind everything I'm showing you. I promise you, it's not in vain. But you know, this is a beautiful scene. I mean, come on, everybody just like in love with the Lord. You know, everybody's like just passionate of like just praising and worshiping God as it should be. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should be. All right, I'm gonna cross the 3-minute 30-second mark, but you get the idea, right? So on one hand, you know, the boy here used to listen to like Spanish worship and praise music. You know, Michael Sweet, Pene Gonzalez, just a bunch. Visioneyeviewtv. You know, I used to listen to like a lot of my father's music because he recorded music back in the day. And on the other hand, I would listen to, like English worship and praise music, like Hillsong and all that good stuff, right? And then later on, I discovered, I'll show you guys right now, I discovered a little somebody that just, just drastically changed, not drastically, but he just really, really wow, he just pumped me up, man. The first time I heard is, I'm going to show you the album right now, but basically when I heard the songs of this album, I was like intrigued. I was like, who is this? Like, what is this? I'm gonna show you guys, and once you hear it, and once you see like who I'm talking about, you're like, oh, of course, yeah, I can see how that happens or whatever. Just bear with me here. All right, I'm gonna show you just the intro, and y'all are gonna like immediately be like, yep, I seen that. I mean, come on. Kirk Franklin, late 90s. Thank you, Jules. I appreciate it. Thank you. You might have to rewind it later on to kind of like get an idea of like why I'm showing you all this. But I appreciate you showing up.
Now I seen your video. You won't be coming doing that mess in my church. Order in a car.
This was like somewhat taboo back in the day, like when it first came out. And I'm gonna show you guys something after this that just amped me up even more. And just kind of like you're gonna see the a gradual transition of like what I was listening to and like why, But already this right here.
Trying to take the gospel to the world. Charge number 2.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna let it ride. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let it ride.
Charge number 3. Tearing down the walls of religion. The jury finds Mr. Franklin in the case of Kirk Franklin versus the state of the world. The verdict is...
It's like old school Kirk Franklin. Hopefully it just goes straight to the next track. That's the whole point. There we go.
Chapter 7, verses 16 and 17.
Ah, beautiful.
They shall hunger no more, neither shall they thirst anymore.
Preach out.
For God shall wipe away. Yes, sir.
Every tear from their eye.
Yes, sir. Get ready for the revolution. What you say?
Come on now. Yo, if this does not make you move and want to just like praise and worship God, like there's something wrong with you. The beat is on point. The choir is on point. Kirk is on point. Come on now, look at that. I'm over. You can't see me, but I'm like moving, like I'm rocking like side to side over here, like I'm in church. This is something that I can like rock in the car, like just on a road trip. I'm really glad y'all can't see me. I'm acting a fool over here, just rocking side to side, having a good time. It makes me wanna holler. No waiting on my line. By the day, pass away. That yell, that little yell in the background was perfect.
What you feeling, what you want, son? Who you calling to, son? You know Jesus is the true son, the second in the Trinity. I know you feeling him. 500 days left into the new millennium.
He just mixed in that little like rap touch right there. This is perfect. It's almost like he just stayed up talking, but he just happens to be rapping. Beautiful. Now that's can't remember who that is, man, but he did a good job too.
When the spirit is moving, don't be hating what I'm doing. I'm the vessel he's using. Everywhere I be, they tried to judge me, they tried to shake me, they tried to buzz me, but they can't break celebrate me because I'm down with Christ. Dog child of new nation, and we feel alright. Well, alright.
So already there, all right, you're starting to see like how they just like perfectly just mixed in, you know, that rap culture like within that praise and worship song, like right there, boom, right. So I was like, yo, this is nice. I like how, you know, it sounds. I like how, you know, like I'm like, it makes me happy. It makes me like enjoy. You know, it makes me have like a good time or whatever. Like praise and worship God. And then, all right, and this is what I'm gonna bring up in just a second. So I heard that, and around the same time, can't say it's the same year because I could be wrong, but around the same time, right? My uncle lived close to us back in West Palm, and this album that I'm about to show you guys, and once again, you have to bear with me because it's in Spanish, but this was the one that started it all for me. This is where I was like, okay, no, I have to hear, like, listen to more of this. Like, this is just delicious. This is perfect. This is divine. I was like so extremely intrigued, not only by the voice, but just by the style of this guy. I'm gonna show you guys. I was just I felt immediately in love with the rap culture, right? So I'm gonna just show you guys. And I know eventually those of you who know this album are gonna be like, yeah, that's the same one that started for me too. and oh my goodness, hold on. All right, I'm gonna have to make sure it's paused because I want to make sure I don't miss that start of that track because it is just straight up fire. And yeah, so already you can see, right? Household worship and praise music, you know, old school worship and praise music. Then transitioned slowly into Kirk Franklin and how he mixed in like rap within the worship and praise genre. Okay, cool. You know, that sounds good. I like it. And then this person I'm about to share with you guys right now, just I was completely in awe. And here we go.
Ha pasado el tiempo y han cambiado muchas cosas. Han surgido nuevos cantantes y nuevas modas.
This guy
Pero el
just
mundo sigue teniendo
blew
la
my
misma
mind.
escena. Alegría, pero también tristeza. Amor, pero también odio. Y este que te habla ha caminado por sombra de valle de muerte, conociendo las dos caras de la vida y recopilando episodio por episodio para traerlos
This
este
whole
día
album,
y sembrarlos en tu
you
conciencia.
cannot skip a track on
Ha
this
pasado
album.
el tiempo y han cambiado
It's
muchas
one of those
cosas.
few albums that you
Han
have to
surgido
let it
nuevos
ride.
cantantes y nuevas modas.
Every song is fire.
Ayer
Every
estuve
single
muerto
song.
y hoy vivo. Miren, miren, guayo, aquel cabilla muerto de la tumba salió y ahora contraataca con los capeños. La voz de la experiencia con potencia regresó. Miren, miren, guayo, aquel cabilla muerto de la tumba salió y ahora contraataca con los capeños. La voz de la experiencia con potencia regresó. Día a día canto mi pensar y represento. Día a día tengo a todo el mundo más atento. Día a día tratan de quedarse con mi asiento, pero día a día sé que sigo siendo el más violento. Porque los violentos somos los que arrebatamos el reino de los cielos donde nunca nos tiramos. Los que creamos música madura y expresamos lo necesario para que aprendamos y crezcamos. Listen up, kid, sabes que lo que traigo es acción. Mirando bien atento cuál es tu reaction. Come on, say now, no solo por la satisfacción, sino por la batalla contra la destruction.
Now, the music was on point, and I'm going to tell you all why in a second. Try to lower the volume a little bit. All right, so for those of you who don't know, I mean, it says it on the screen, but this is Vico C, right? Before he came out with this album, this is a Christ-centered album, right? And this is a very taboo type of album because back in these days, back in those days, sorry, Christian rap was just frowned upon, right? And this is one of the few first, actually, secular rap artist to cross over from secular rap music into Christian rap music. And this whole album, like I said earlier, was like the pioneer, and he was ahead of his time, and he was the one who made it like kind of like he made sure he would let it be known that, hey, if God gave me this talent, God gave me this gift, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna use it for his glory. And so he crossed over from like the secular music world into the Christian music world, right? And he was really, really criticized like harshly by the church, by everybody in the secular music industry, everybody in the Christian music industry. It was just, I'm telling you, it was like bad. It was taboo to make Christian rap music around this time. But he was like the one that like kind of like said, I don't care, I'm gonna do it. I feel it in my heart and spirit to do it. He went through and he just opened up like the Red Sea for like a bunch of other future Christian rappers to just kind of like walk through, you know. He was the catalyst that provoked this new wave of like Christian rap. And this is like, you know what I'm saying, this is good quality, like just pristine for its days. This was like it was like really, really well done, because you got to remember, he was already known as the best of his genre before he crossed over. So him crossing over into the Christian rap side, he brought the same amount of talent, both vocally, lyrically, right, and also the production. Everything just came out like perfect. It was like, this is one of those albums, like I said earlier, that you cannot skip a track. It's like you have to let it ride. Like there's no reason to skip any songs, is what I'm trying to say, you know. And so back in those days, you know, like I would have to sneak into like my uncle's like apartment complex to like listen to this album, because this was not allowed in our apartment. You know what I'm saying? I had to like sneak over there and like kind of like look for it and like play it or whatever when my uncle wasn't around, or if he wasn't around, you know, I'd like tell him, hey, you know, can you play that album for me or whatever. But this was not allowed in our apartment. Like my parents, they would just not allow it. They'd be like, no, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's not of God, that's not of the Lord. This is way back when, once again, all this was like frowned upon. And so I just fell in love with the lyrical talent. Like the beat was amazing. Every song on this album, you know, the beat and the instrumentals and all that, yeah, they were amazing. Which that's what kind of like propelled me to get into like learning like how to play the drums, right? But the lyrics, and this is something that I'm going to make sure that I pronounce it. You know, like kind of like let it be known, like, hey, the main thing here that I'm gonna be promoting and kind of like letting you guys know, like, hey, this is like what's like most important, and will always be the most important thing, is the lyrics. The lyrics of every song on this album is just straight up just like a message to your conscience, a message to your heart, a message to your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just I would love to like translate some of the songs so you can kind of like get a feel of like how the whole album is. But basically, he was just bringing straight up truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and letting you know how the secular music industry is, and why kind of like basically he left it, you know, to pursue Christ and pursue using his talent for God and everything. And just so many wonderful things within this album that to this day, it's like, even though a lot of like new Christian like artists like come up with like new albums and it's straight up fire, it's really hard to top this album. Mind you, this was back in 1990s, like 1998, 1999, around that era, right? So it's been over 20 years, basically, right? And still to this day, you can ask anybody from the Christian rap genre, you know, anybody from like nowadays, and they'll ask them, hey, top 3, top 5 albums of Christian rap of all times. This will always be top 3, top 5 every single time. This album, I'm telling you, if you're Hispanic, if you know Spanish, and you listen to this album, you listen to the lyrics, and you listen to what he's talking about in every song, there's like no way you're gonna say like, oh, this is not, you know, not good enough. No, there's a reason why. Let me see if I can. I know this album got so many awards when it came out, yo. But I'm not gonna look that up right now. But basically, this is like the holy grail of like Christian rap, like at least like in Hispanic world, right? This is just like one of the best, if not the best album out there, right? So obviously I heard this album, it blew my mind. It pumped me up. I was like, yo, this is what it is. Like I need to like listen to more of this type of like music or whatever, because he's just straight up speaking facts. He's talking truth. He's at the same time glorifying God with his talent. Is crazy, you know? And you know, this, like I said earlier, this opened the door to like so many other Christian artists along the way, right? I'm gonna show you guys. There was another artist that came out on this album that to me, I didn't know him. You know what I'm saying? I knew Vico C already because I knew he did like secular music or whatever. But someone was in this album that I was like, yo, this other guy is amazing too. Like, what the heck? I mean, there was 2 other guys, but I'm gonna show you one of them right now. Just bear with me. But yo, this was talking about this makes me really happy because like I'm like reliving, you know what I'm saying? Like when I first like was like listening to this music and got into it or whatever. And it's beautiful, yo. It's beautiful to like go back and like what? It's nice to remember. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to go back and remember like where your roots are and why you enjoy and love the music genre that you love. You know, it's always nice to go back and kind of like rekindle that fire, if you will. So I'm gonna share the tab right now. Just give me a second. I'm gonna show a little bit of this song, and then a little bit of like the song that really made it for me. Well, kind of like made him like blow up. Oh, you know what? I should have. Hold on. I'm gonna share the album, that way I can show you guys the other song that really made him. Okay, hold on. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm gonna have to fast forward. Okay. All right. I think I found the spot. All right. Here we go. The song that's playing right now, it's like another one of those songs that was like really taboo when it first came out. Really harshly criticized because once again, still around this time, Christian rap was still not well adopted within the church. But the lyrics and the way he mixed his lyrics with an original song from an actual like worship and praise artist back in the day was beautiful. And once again, you know, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, and I don't care because what's most important for me to like let you guys know is that the lyrics of these songs, okay, are just beautiful. Just like the stories that they tell within the songs and the message that's being trying to be like sent throughout the song, which is beautiful. This is early 2000, I believe. Like maybe like 1999, 2000, somewhere around there. There you go, Vico C on that verse right there. Just, as always, just pure straight up fire.
No te miento, hablo con vivencia por las experiencias que he sufrido ya. Y presiento que lo que me espera es una trinchera para batallar contra viento y contra marea en contra de la.
And if you notice, they have similar styles and kind of like tone of voices, like Funky and Vico C. Like if you were to hear them back to back, you'd be like, oh, it's kind of hard to tell who's who. Like you can tell who's who eventually, but like for a brief moment, they sound similar. So. But yeah, so that album came out, and I was like, all right, cool. And it just kept going from there, just back to like that album and the album that came out after that, and just, I mean, obviously I'm gonna show you guys little by little with every stream that I start pulling up whenever I do these streams, and you're gonna see the trajectory, right? But already, you can already kind of like see like how it was easy for me to transition from one thing to another, right? While still having love for the foundation. Because to this day, I can easily get in my car and pull up like Hillsong Worship from late 90s or early 2000s, right? And just enjoy the heck out of it. And enjoy it without skipping the track, you know? Same thing with these Hispanic worship and praise artists. I don't like saying artists, ministers. You know, like René González, Roberto Orellana, Marcos Wade, Jesus Adrian Romero. There's so many of them that I can just, it's a long list. And I will still enjoy them just as much, you know, because the foundation of what it means to me to worship and praise comes from that genre, right? But then the other side of me, right, which is like the more like the attitude and like the wanting to like feel, you know what I'm saying, like inspired, motivated, you know, comes from this side, you know, from this genre. The whole Christian rap genre is just, that's why I said earlier on the stream, is like, yo, we have absolutely nothing, and I don't know why this account's not subscribed to him, but there's nothing for us to envy. Like if you're in the Lord, if you're in God, right, you have absolutely nothing at all to envy the world, you know? Like we have so much talent on our side. We have so much amazing ability, so many great singers, lyricists, rappers on our side of the coin. You know what I'm saying? That there's no excuse. There's no excuse to be like, well, I mean, I don't listen to Christian rap because, you know, the secular music has better rappers. No. Listen. And I know this is my own personal opinion. You can say what you want. But at the end of the day, what's going to matter and what's going to count is what inspires you. What when you listen to what you're listening to, right? Whoever it is. Let's take a few secular artists, just to name a few, and just kind of like go through what I'm trying to say. When you listen to, I don't know, old school, oh my goodness, NWA, right? What does that inspire? What does that promote? What does that motivate you to do? How does that motivate you to act? You know what I'm saying? All right, so that versus these guys over here. What are these guys inspiring to do? What are these guys promoting? What are these guys inspiring you to do? You know what I'm saying? Is it becoming more clear what I'm trying to get at with what I'm talking about? Like, you know, music is supposed to provoke certain things, right? And if at the end of the day, what you're listening to is provoking negative things, you know, or you to act a negative way, or you to look for trouble, right? Or to, you know, have a rebellious, negative like attitude or whatever, what is that really doing for you? Versus, you know what I'm saying, these guys on the other side of the coin, you know, are they inspiring positive mindset? Are they motivating you to get closer to the Lord? Are they motivating you to, you know, pursue God, pursue, you know, the gospel? Do you know what I'm saying? So there is such a thing as a gauge to kind of like compare artists, compare music, compare, you know, songs or whatever, and be like, well, this one is better and this one is not, because, you know, once again, what am I getting out of said songs? What am I getting out of said artists? What are they provoking or inspiring or motivating me towards? You know, and you guys are gonna like pretty much like learn throughout all the streams that I'm gonna be doing from this point forward. You know, what I'm trying to get at. You know, I will be kind of like comparing songs and artists from both sides of the coin. And we're gonna go through them and we're gonna evaluate the songs. And we're gonna evaluate what one song provokes versus the other one. And, you know, obviously we're gonna talk about other stuff, other topics, but, you know, that's gonna be like the main thing on this channel for like a while, right? And we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna discuss it. You're gonna tell me your opinion. You're gonna tell me pretty much like what your thoughts are, and tell me your truth, you know, your personal experience. And we're gonna discuss these things, because these things I feel are not touched up on enough within like the Christian world, and vice versa, like the just regular secular world. And I need to feel at ease and peace that somebody, you know, talked about these topics, you know, and I guess I feel it in my heart and spirit to be the one to do it. So that's why I'm here doing this stream, and that's why I pretty much like activated this channel. This channel has been on idle and just kind of like been preserved and just kind of like saved and put away for like a special occasion, and when the time was right. And I guess the time is now. And so, yeah, we're going to be talking about this every time I go on stream. I don't know yet if I'm going to be like actually posting videos. But for the most part, it'll be like a podcast type of vibe, you know, going on live streams more often on this channel. And yeah, I mean, hopefully with what I brought to you guys today, number one, you got like a feel of like what my household was like, you know, what we used to listen to, what the foundation music genre was, and early music beginnings, and how I transitioned into like Christian rap music and why. And yeah, please, for the love of God, if you enjoyed this stream, give it a huge thumbs up. Right? If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps out a lot. And you know, if you feel that this was a blessing to you, and you want to bless somebody else, and you want to know more about the topics that I'm talking about within this channel, then hit that notification bell to all and share with the people you think is gonna bless and it's gonna, you know, help out in some way, shape, or form, right? But yeah, thank you for the time. Thank you for stopping by and showing love and support to this channel. I mean, it's been a long time coming. I've been wanting to like activate this channel since forever. And sometimes you just have to like go ahead and start it, because, you know, sometimes certain things that you're waiting on, you know, will take way longer than what you were hoping for. And sometimes you just have to like take that leap of faith and just, you know, just move forward. So till next time, I honestly don't know when is the next stream. So I'd be lying if I were to say like a specific date or whatever. But you could definitely expect anywhere between 1 or 2 streams on this channel per week. So that's what I'm hoping to do, like at least 1 or 2. And yeah, hopefully this was a blessing. And I love every single one of you guys who are going to stop by eventually, whether it be now or after the video, the stream is like over. It does really mean a lot to me, because this channel is meant to be a blessing to you, to your household, to your friends, to your neighbors, anybody else who stops by and pretty much gives it a chance. So hopefully it does that. And I do trust God that it will do that in some way, shape, or form to whoever does cross paths with this channel and these streams. All right. God bless every single one of you guys. This is your boy JDQ. All right. Don't get it twisted. I am a Christ follower. All right. I do have that other main channel that dedicates its time and efforts to promoting channels that, catches like child pedophiles and online child predators and all that stuff. And that's aside from this channel. This channel is completely separate and just talks about other topics altogether. It's a Christ-centered channel, right? And yeah, hopefully it's been a blessing to you. But yeah, that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'm going to try my hardest to keep you guys updated on when the next stream is going to be. It might be, depending on how things go, it might be like a Thursday or Friday or something like that. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna shut up now because I talk too much. So God bless. Love y'all. Keep being safe out there, and share this first official stream. And I'll be in deep gratitude and extremely grateful. Right? God bless. Love y'all, and peace out.